Alright, this has been an ongoing project for about a while, for some years now. The biggest holdup was right there. There was a locust tree, but when she split, I haven't been able to get that root yet. That's 3 years ago we took that down because I think it got hit by lightning, but it was split pretty bad and it was close enough to the house it was a problem. That's pretty solid, and it shouldn't be because I don't know if you can see that I've cut clean through the root where it connects with the tap root over there. Actually, I've taken a lot of the shallow roots, but there's pretty good size chunk there. It is getting softer. This year it isn't quite as hard as it was last year and naturally the year before. The plan is to come across here. When you're on the hillside, this is the solution. But you can see my mistake down here. See, I goofed right there. I didn't pull up that course or that run. I should have gone one run further over. I'm gonna have to redo it, so I get it running true. Now that double up would be completely covered, because ultimately I'll put weed barrier down here, and then probably a layer of 3/4 clean rock. Although my source is gone. Where I used to buy it, they had a retirement and they sold out their business. It was 2 generations, but the 3rd generation, they wanted to live their own life, which I don't blame people for that. But the story there was, they used to give me a heck of a deal. I'd go out there with the old pickup and a scoop shovel, and they were reasonable. They'd put me on the scale and I paid for it by the pound. And I'd scoop shovel. Of course, the pile was right along a busy street, and I knew that I didn't dare lean on the shovel for too long, because surely somebody I'd know would drive by and see me leaning on the shovel. So I was kind of hustling, and there was a couple of times if they asked me if I was looking for a job, because they knew I would shovel. anyhow, now that's kind of the plan. Now, someday when I get far enough, I do want to dig through the tap root. You can say this is pretty well level right here. You can kind of see the slope we're on. Actually, it was a problem when we first moved here, because the whole property drains towards the back of the house. It didn't get into the house, but it puddled. You'd step out the back door into ankle deep water. And I've kind of worked. We've improved it. You know, if we had a heavy rainfall, or if we had a quick snow melt, that pile, I got to go through that too. I gotta run that through a screen. I did find some really rusty nails. In years gone by, I found really old change running it through the screen. You just don't know what happened, you know. But I found wheat pennies and a mercury dime once upon a time. Who knows how that got there and how long. Now this time, so far, I've found a few really pitted nails. This ground was quarry, and they used some real crap to fill the quarry in when they took out what they wanted. I mean, there's chunks of concrete, there's broken glass, it's all down there. It's a miracle we got stuff growing so good. Right here, now some of you will remember last year I seeded grass. It didn't fill in that good. I don't want this to get started either. Yeah, but anyhow, Anyhow, the clover shouldn't stay either, but it doesn't bother me as bad as that stuff. And of course, this. Anyhow, this has all been screened here, but I wish they would have filled in a little better. But when I do pull this apart to get that, to straighten that first course out, I'm going to have to dig back about 6 inches so I can get this running true again. I would have stopped one course lower, and I wouldn't have done the cap on it, but that wasn't. That order was countermand. Well, thank you.